Hi, it's Melissa and welcome to Scraplift Saturday. Here's a quick look at the mood board, which has lots of purple in it. And here is a look at the layout that I'm scraplifting, and Crafty and I are on today, and we both are scraplifting ourselves. And so this is an older layout that I made, and it's of my middle daughter, well, my oldest daughter. It's her from her baby album, and it's kind of in the style of what I did when I hadn't been scrapping that long. So it's there's no layering, it doesn't have any mixed media or any ink splatters or anything. So I thought it was a good starting point for scrap lifting for this layout. And here's a quick look at the layout that I made that I scrap lifted off the one I just showed you. So when it came to gathering supplies for this layout, I was a bit concerned that I didn't have much in the purple colour range, but I was really surprised, like I said, and the entire layout came together based on the purple or lavender colour on that My Mind's Eye sweetest thing cut apart. And then I just went through my stash and I just pulled some sticker sheets. That all this product is old, and some vellum and some purple cardstock. And I cut that little cute heart from a file from the cut shop, and I was inspired by the heart on the mood board, and I thought it went really well with this photo of my oldest two kids. So this is, well, both of these photos are Instagram photos, and I would have put a filter on them. And I love how the purple in her dress, or lavender colour, just matches perfectly with the lavender purple colour in the mood board, and it goes so well with the products that I've pulled. So the original layout that I'm scraplifting had two 4x6, I think they were, photos, and I decided that rather than have them separate like they were, I wanted to join them together. And so I needed something underneath to anchor them, and I've just taken this purple scallop border strip, and it's off a Bella Boulevard girl birthday collection that would probably be about 4 years old maybe, and I've used bits and pieces of it, and I always come back to it because it just has some really beautiful sentiments, and it has that typical Bella Boulevard style, which is really fresh and modern. So here's my tricky technique of lining things up straight. I just used this back of the sticker sheet, and what I did here was I didn't get it centered, so it's over to the right more. So all I did to remedy this was cut off the same amount off the side and off the bottom, and this will then enable me to bring in that piece of cardstock, and it'll provide a backing. And rather than do the normal, which is put the white in the middle and have the border go on all four sides, because of that uneven positioning, I've just had the border peek out on the top and on the left. In fact, say the right, on the left. And I like how that looks, and I've done this before, and it's something I should do more, and it just provides a bit more interest. So I was about to start cutting up that cut apart, but I had these grey toned papers, and at this point I was not sure at all what I was going to do, so I thought that I would be layering. So I'm just trimming down these pieces, and they don't make it, because even looking at it now, they don't look quite right to me. So then I pulled this vellum, and it's an amazing coloured vellum. It's white. It reminds me of snow. And I think the vellum I've been using recently has been more of a kind of a grayer tone vellum, and I love this, and I need to get some more. So I'm just tearing the ends there just for a bit of interest, and at this point I still did think I was going to use that grey piece. Now I had this piece of pink, and it had some really nice sentiments. I think it's a piece of Amy Tangerine, and so it looked perfect and it fit with the colour tones in the mood board. And so I just positioned that over the top of that scallop border as another grounding piece. Now I knew that I really wanted to use that Dear Lizzie card. I went through the Project Life kit, I think for Polka Dot Party, and just pulled out 3 of the cards that matched with the mood board. And I have a glassine bag as well, and I decided that because I was wanting to keep a lot of the same positionings as on the main layout, the one on scraplifting, that I had a lot more to say than what I said on that layout. On that layout, I put my journaling on a tiny little journaling prompt card, and in this one I wanted to have it tucked behind the photo in the glassine bag, and so that's what I'm doing there. And then I also had this happiness card, and it's quite blue, and I was a bit unsure with it, and I stuck it down, and once it's down, so I had to work with it. And so here I am just sticking it down, and I wanted the word happiness to kind of disappear underneath the vellum, and it's pretty obvious that it says happiness. And so now I'm sticking down the photo, and this is kind of the point of no return really, because everything else is stuck down. So now I've grabbed a sticker off that really old My Mind's Eye sticker, I guess it's a little sheet, and it's so good to use up older stash. It's really satisfying to know that something that I bought probably 4 years ago is making it onto a layout today. So I'm looking at these pieces again, and I'm wanting to pull the tones of purple. And the purple is a little bit different to, for example, the cardstock border, but I like that this layout ends up with different shades of pink and purple. So this is just a little number cut apart, and I thought it was quite appropriate since they're jumping on the trampoline. I'm not really sure why, but I like how it looks. And I've cut that into banners, and I'm just going to use some Stampin' Up! Dimensional. And you'll see that I use my Stampin' Up! Dimensional, any dimensional adhesive, right to the very scraps and right to the end. And so even the bits that are left after you've cut up, after you've used your dots or whatever shapes they are, they can be used as well. So I love that Dear Lizzie card, and I love the kind of the splattery, artsy watercolour look on it. And I wanted to lift this cut file up, and so it had dimension, because I'm not going to be adding too much more to it. And so I've just cut down the edges of that, the piece that's left from the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and I've cut them really thin. And it was painstaking, but it's worth it to get the look that I wanted. And so here I've got some really old Heidi Swap ephemera. I'm not sure what the collection was, and I have quite a lot of it left, and when I was getting ready for this layout, I just went through it and I pulled out everything that I thought would go. And so that little piece that I've added there, that acetate piece, is also from that same pack. And now I'm just wanting to copy what I've done at the top and layer some vellum underneath the card, and I've got the tiered edge as well to mimic what I've done at the top. So essentially what I'm doing here is creating the two separate kind of square or areas of embellishment and journaling. I think I had an extra photo as well that I put in frame on the bottom right of my original layout, and so I'm wanting to have the same kind of layout on the layout for this one. So here I'm using some silver thickers, and I just adore these thickers. They're beautiful. They came from a hip kit, and I've got quite a lot left. And so when I pulled them out, I didn't know what title I wanted to use, but I just looked at them and saw what letters I had left and decided to go with love and fun. Now, funny enough, my two would deny that there was any love in any of the photos I've ever taken of them. But I know they love each other, and they kind of get in the zone of playing together, and they just have a blast. So that arrow that I stapled on top of the happiness card, that's also from the Heidi Swap ephemera pack. And here I cut quite a lot out, but I fussed around with trying to decide what to do with the other square. And I had a random, I guess it's a photo corner. I had one left, and there were 4 originally on the sticker sheet, so I thought I'm going to use that one up because it's not very often that I would just stick one on the photo. And so I just have it layered underneath the vellum. And so here I cut a piece of that chevron, and then I've just gotten the Bella Boulevard letters and put the year, which is 2012, And I was going to have that piece of chevron underneath the piece I've just put down, but it was too much, and I love how simple this one is, each of these two cards actually, and in fact the whole layout's pretty simple, but I love that less can be more, and that's definitely something that I like to challenge myself with, because I've said it before in my videos that sometimes I find it hard to stop, and I just love how this one's turning out. So a little bit about the photos. My two kids used to love dressing up, and they'd put their costumes on and just play, and I said to Sam, what game are you playing? Because they'd always say, we're playing a game, but they wouldn't always tell me what the game was. And he said this time that the game was called Batman and Fairies, and I just thought that was so cute, and so I wanted to have this memory of what the game was called documented, and that's what I'm journaling about on this card. And I've added those little silver arrows just to really direct the eye into the glassine bag to see that there is some journaling on that card. And I've also got it positioned so that you can see there's journaling there because my writing sits just underneath the glassine. So now I'm adding some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in black, and I'm wanting to restrain myself from just splattering mist everywhere. And I'm just doing that by allowing a few drops just to fall off the end of the, I guess it's like a straw. And as you can see there, I've not covered that vellum and it's gone underneath, and I'm not happy with it, so I have to fix it. And so all I did was add this little tab sticker, and then I'm going to put a tiny little pop dot underneath it just to lift it up, and you'd be none the wiser. So that's my final layout. I really enjoyed making this layout, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I was scared about using purple, but it just goes to show that when you do push yourself and challenge yourself and look through your stash, you'll be surprised about what you have hidden away. So I hope you enjoyed, and do check out Christy's video as well. I can't wait to watch it. And make sure you tune back in tomorrow for another awesome layout. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.